Hello, this is a video on GeoGebra and Google. I've been learning how to use Google to make online quizzes and exercises and homework, but I ran into a little bit of a snag when I was inserting some graphics, so I thought I would make a video and point out a few interesting things about GeoGebra and how to integrate those into Google. Now, let me tell you the background information first of all before we get into the video itself. If you're interested in GeoGebra, go to geogebra.org. And there's already quite a bit of information out on the internet about Google Docs and Forms and how to grade them automatically using Flubaroo. And the video that I'm making today is actually a follow-up to this video on how to put images into Google Forms. And let me just show you these websites real quick here. The first one is GeoGebra, and here is the Google Workshop for Educators. Here is the Flubaroo website, and finally how to put images into forms. Now, why is it that I'm making this video? The reason I'm making this video is when I followed the steps for putting graphics into a Google quiz, my image was way too huge and I couldn't even see my answers. So I want to show you how to get the right size image using GeoGebra. Here we are at GeoGebra. Down here in the input line, I'm going to put in f of x equals, and I'm just going to have f of x equals -3. Nice thing about GeoGebra is you type it in just as you would on a piece of paper. And I do have the line here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this line a little bit thicker, because since it's horizontal, it can be very easily be confused with the x-axis. So I'm going to go to Object Properties, and then I'm going to go to the Style tab and make the thickness 5. The next thing I'm going to do is change my axes. Now, in this particular case, I'm making a conceptual quiz on slope and y-intercept. So I'm not even going to show the numbers on the axes, and I'm not even going to show any tick marks. I do want to have the label of x-axis. I strongly encourage that. Also on the y-axis, no numbers, no tick marks, and the y-axis label. Now, there does seem to be a small flaw here in GeoGebra, just a little glitch. For some reason, it doesn't do the x-axis label, so I found if you just tell it a second time, it usually does it. Now, the key here to exporting this to put into a worksheet or wherever is to resize your window. And whatever is in the window here is going to be what your graphic's going to be. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit with my scrolling mouse, the scroll on the mouse, and I can shift click to move this around. And then once you get it situated the way you like it, there's a couple of options. The easiest one is Graphics View to Clipboard, and I do that quite a bit. But since I want to file this time, I'm going to go to File, Export, and take the second choice, which is the Graphics View as Picture. And I am going to use the PNG format. Now, here's the key. This image is going to be 1,437 pixels by 1252. That's way too big. One thing you might want to do is familiarize yourself a little bit with a pixel. And I found a pixel ruler out on the internet. Let me bring that up for you. Here is the pixel ruler, and this is handy because you can move it all around and so on. So, for example, this little image right here is about 288 wide. So I think I want to have my images be about 400 by 400. So, since this image is going to be way too large, I would like to make this about 400 by 400. So what you can do is fiddle with your scale here. So this is 1450. So if I make my scale 1 to 2, you'll notice that it takes the 1450 and divides by 2. That worked pretty well. If I make it 1 to 4, it's going to make it a little bit too small. So I think I'm going to see what happens if I use 3.5. Click over here. That actually looks pretty good. So I'm going to hit save. And it's going to take me to my save, and I'm going to navigate to where I want to save it and save it as I normally would. And it's a good idea to have a good numbering system, a simple file naming system, because you're going to be needing those file names when you make up your quiz in Google Forms. Now, the nice thing about GeoGebra is that you can come in here and change the function very easily, and it graphs it automatically. And then I'm going to position this again till I get this situated the way I want my window to look, and then I'm going to go to File, Export again. I'm going to do this process for each of my graphics that I want to put in my quiz. Now that I have saved all of my images, I'm going to go over to the Google Docs, and I'm going to upload my images. As has been shown in the previous video, you need to go to your image folder, and most of these are too large, so what I'm going to do is an upload, and I'm going to upload files. And now I'm going to navigate over to my folder on my local machine. Here they are. I'm going to do a select all, and I'm going to open. Yes, I want to upload and share, and it's uploading them now. Then I need to navigate to my form. Here's my form, the estimate the equation of a line from the graph exercise. And now, from the other video, I go to the GFWI menu, and I do Create Form with Images. And this automatically runs a script. It does take a few seconds, so I think I'll pause the video. Then it says, click here to view the form. So here's our form. The title is here. The instructions are here. I have the student put in their first and last name and their email. And then here are the graphs. And now the graphs are reasonable size, and I can see my choices here. This one looks like about y equals negative x, and so on. I hope this video was useful to you in using GeoGebra to create files that are usable inside of Google, and I will put the links to these previous videos and help pages in the transcript for this video. Have a great day.